The catalytic converter on a Hyundai Sonata is basically the unsung hero of emissions control. It sits under the car, pretty much ignored, grabbing all those toxic exhaust fumes and turning them into something that won't instantly kill you or the planet. But when it goes bad, you really notice. I'm talking sluggish acceleration, a dashboard Christmas tree of warning lights, and an exhaust smell that makes your neighbors send pointed HOA emails. And for some reason, it always happens at the absolute worst time. Replacing this thing is not cheap. For a Hyundai Sonata, you're looking at $600 to $2,000 total. That's a vacation or a new laptop, or in Portland terms, like 5 months of fancy pour-over coffee. The sticker shock is real. Most of the time, you don't even know the catalytic converter has an issue until something else breaks, like failing a routine emissions test or hearing a weird rattling underneath when you drive over potholes. Or, when the check engine light starts taunting you. Here's the step-by-step if you have to deal with replacing it. First, get your Sonata up on ramps or a lift. Safety first. Last thing you want is to be squashed while trying to save money. Always disconnect the battery so you don't fry something expensive. Unbolt the shields and find the cat, usually right after the exhaust manifold. Spray the bolts with penetrating oil because, trust me, they're probably rusted solid like a 1970s bike chain in Oregon rain. Let it soak. Patience saves knuckles. If you're really unlucky, those bolts will shear. At that point, it gets ugly. You're drilling, tapping, maybe inventing new swear words. This is what keeps exhaust shops in business. Pro tip: having a breaker bar and a can of PB Blaster handy can shave hours off this ordeal. Once loose, drop the old catalytic converter. It's heavier than you think and probably still full of mystery goo. Hold it by the flanges, not the honeycomb, or you'll end up wearing whatever fell out inside. Not the best look. Getting the new one lined up isn't bad, but don't cheap out on gaskets. Bad gaskets mean exhaust leaks, which basically makes all your effort pointless. Replace them. $30 now saves you hundreds on fixes later. Everything snug and tight? Reconnect the O2 sensors. If you forget them, the car runs like a confused goldfish and your dashboard lights up again. Plug the battery back in, start it up, and check for obvious leaks. If you did it right, the exhaust sounds smooth. Some people ask if you can just bypass or gut the cat. Look, in most places, including Oregon, that's begging for a failed inspection and some very expensive tickets. Plus, you're sort of the villain in everyone else's air quality story. If you want to avoid ever dealing with this again, 2 big reminders. Use good gas and park inside if you can. Hyundai Sonatas are apparently weirdly popular targets for catalytic converter theft. That way, you're not forking over thousands just for some stranger's scrap metal payday.